In Greek mythology, Hades, the god of the underworld, was the first-born son of the titans Cronus and Rhea. He had three older sisters, Hestia, Demeter, and Hera, as well as a younger brother Poseidon, all of whom had been swallowed whole by their father as soon as they were born. Zeus was the youngest child, and through the machinations of their mother Rhea, he was the only one that had escaped this fate. Upon reaching adulthood, Zeus managed to force his father to disgorge his siblings. After their release, the six younger gods, along with allies they managed to gather, challenged the elder gods for power in the Titanomachy, a divine war. The war lasted for 10 years and ended with the victory of the younger gods. Following their victory, according to a single famous passage in the Iliad, Hades and his two brothers, Poseidon and Zeus, drew lots for realms to rule. Zeus received the sky, Poseidon received the seas, and Hades received the underworld, the unseen realm to which the souls of the dead go upon leaving the world, as well as any and all things beneath the earth. Some myths suggest that Hades was dissatisfied with his turnout, but had no choice and moved to his new realm. Hades means the unseen one, a suitable name since Hades is the ruler of the invisible world. However, the ancient Greeks rarely used this name, just like Christians rarely used the word hell during the Middle Ages. So, since minerals and precious metals are found underground, they often referred to Hades euphemistically as Pluton, namely, the wealth giver. Unsurprisingly, Hades' Roman equivalent is called Pluto as well. As the ruler of the dead, Hades was a grim and ghastly figure, inspiring awe and terror in everybody. Consequently, he was rarely depicted in art. When he was most commonly portrayed with a beard, and a solemn, mournful look. He frequently wears a helmet, named the Helm of Darkness or the Cap of Invisibility. Cerberus, the three-headed dog which guarded the entrance to the underworld, is usually beside him. Every so often he carries a scepter or holds the key to his kingdom. At a later stage, he became associated with his weapon of choice, the bident, a two-pronged fork modeled after Poseidon's trident. As Pluton, he was sometimes shown with a cornucopia, the horn of plenty. Among the ancient Greeks, Hades was known as the other Zeus. Homer even calls him the infernal Zeus, in addition to the grisly god. He was also called the host of many, or the attractor of man, since all men eventually went to serve him. Since Hades was a fearsome deity who rarely left his kingdom, there are very few myths about him in ancient Greek sources. By far the most important myth is Hades' abduction of Persephone, Demeter's daughter. That was one of the few times Hades traveled above ground. The reason, naturally, was love. He fell for Persephone. However, Persephone didn't want to give in easily, so Hades devised an ingenious ploy. As Persephone was gathering flowers with her maidens at the Nisaean plain, he caused an indescribably beautiful flower to suddenly bloom before her. When Persephone reached out to pluck it, the ground under her opened and Hades appeared before her, all dreadful and majestic in his four-horse golden chariot, and took her with him to the underworld. Demeter, the goddess of fertility, was so distressed at the absence of her daughter, that she started fasting and wandering aimlessly. Finally, after 9 days, Hecate told her what happened. After the all-seeing Helios confirmed the event, Demeter left Olympus as an act of protest against the injustice done to her. With her gone, the earth was as barren and infertile as a desert. 1 year passed, and the gods started worrying that the famine would wipe out humanity. So Zeus sent all the gods, one by one, to beg Demeter to come back, promising her all kinds of gifts and functions. She wanted none. The only thing she wanted was to see her daughter once again. So, Zeus had no choice but to send Hermes to Hades with the request that he return Persephone to Demeter. He complied, but only after making Persephone eat one pomegranate seed before leaving. This ensured that she would remain bound to his kingdom eternally. Now, both sides had no choice but to accept Zeus' compromise. Persephone would spend 2/3 of the year with her mother, but 1/3 of it with Hades. And this is the part of the year which corresponds with the winter months. They say that Demeter retreats from Olympus to her temple at Eleusis to grieve the absence of Persephone. It's possible that Hades and Persephone didn't have any children. However, some say that Zagreus may have been their son.